Hi guys, I'm here with Jordan Crawford, who played soccer at GAC and was a longtime PTer with Coach Schofield and I, and still comes back to GAC quite often. You'll see her on the soccer field in the summer, kicking the ball around, training with the other girls, and we're just so grateful to have her with us talking today about gratitude and talking about the first letter of the acronym GRIT and G, which is simply grateful for everything, which seems like an impossible thing to do and apply in your life. But we're going to shed some light on how gratitude, kind of is a part of Jordan's life, and especially with her, is it your junior year now, Jordan, at a new school, and just kind of in it long enough to really reflect on like the good things, and I'm sure you've achieved a lot of growth, now third year in college, and you've seen a lot of life and you've experienced a lot of it, so you'll have a lot of wisdom to share to our PT students here. So let's start with an introduction. I'll let you introduce yourself and share a little bit about your PT experience too.
Okay. Well, hi. Obviously, my name is Jordan Crawford. I graduated GAC in 2018, and I played soccer all 4 years at GAC, and then I played basketball my freshman year. Then I just did that for 1 year. I took PT all 4 years throughout high school, and PT has prepared me so much for college, just in like sports, life, like sports, life, and everything. Like, I don't know how to put it into words exactly, but it's just helped me grow as a person and show me like how to be like, basically, life is hard and you have to get up every day and just be like, I need to persevere and I need to get through like all the difficult times and the tough times, because there's going to be some days when it's just like, I don't want to do this. And PT has shown me like through all like the tough and difficult things that you have to do, like you have to persevere through it. Like there will be days where I'll go into the weight room and I'll be tired after class and I don't want to lift weights. But then you'll have Sco and Burnett that will literally be like, no, you got this, Jordan, like push through it. And then I'll push through it and I'll do good. And then I'll see like the positive effect after. Because when you push through things in life that are difficult, there's like a greater aspect later. You grow as a person and you're stronger. So it's helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's an awesome opener. Appreciate it. So hey, we're gonna get right into it. First question: is gratitude a choice?
Gratitude, I personally think it's a choice, because you can pick and choose whether or not you want to be thankful, or you can choose just to like be complacent, if that makes sense. Like, I honestly feel like, because my grandpa, he told me this growing up. He was like, you choose your feelings. You choose how you feel. You choose whether to be happy. You choose whether to be sad. You choose whether or not, like, you you want to do what you want to do, or if you don't want to do what you plan on doing. And honestly, I see it more now in hot college in these past 3 years, because I did go to two different schools, and I went to South Carolina State my first 2 years, and I just transferred. So now I'm at Gardner Webb. And what I saw is like in those moments where I was at South Carolina State and it was really tough and it wasn't like a great program as it is here at Gardner Webb, I kind of chose to be like sad and depressed. I could have looked at like the positives, that I'm still playing college soccer at a D1 program and I'm doing like good, and I'm able to play like on a national team and stuff like that as well. And it helped me put me in those like aspects and those like different points where like I could be able to do something like better, if that makes sense, and get me to where I need to be, which is here. And at my like opinion, I think I was supposed to be here. Like, I think I needed South Carolina State and all the stuff that I went through in order to be where I am now and like be able to deal with the things that I deal with.
Can you kind of give us an example of that?
For an example, um, South Carolina State, it wasn't really a great program just because like they didn't have like a lot of funding. So like we weren't really in a conference, we were independent, so we would just play teams just to play teams. So there wasn't like any like competition at the end where you have like conference championship, like playoffs and stuff like that, like the season would just be over. So like you would just play games, and then also we had to share like our soccer field with the football field, like practices and stuff like that. So we had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do practice and stuff like that. And then they expected us to do great in class, so we had to like keep like a 3.6 GPA. And it was just like it was a lot of like stress and like I don't know how to put it in words. It was just like a lot of stress and overwhelming feelings that like I just didn't know how to like control it. So I just like said that I was sad all the time and my parents would worry about me and everything. But in reality, like now I'm here at this new school and I'm able to like do really well, like I'm doing well in my classes because they put that like in us where we had to have like a 3.6. And then I'm willing to like wake up early in the morning and go on a run just to go on a run and get some extra training in. And it's just like made me more like of a well-rounded person that like you can deal with adversity and overcome it and be able to just adjust to your surroundings in the best way that you possibly can. And that's really it. Like I just am able to be like a better person. Like I feel like a better person. I feel like I can be open and like willing to just adjust to anything. Like at my old school, I played like one position, but like playing that one position and then also like trying different things like helped me realize, oh, I can play more than one position. So I came here and I'm like, oh, well, I can play more than one position if you need me to play more than one position. It made me humble because at my old school, we weren't ranked that well. We were ranked at the bottom, but at this school that I'm at now, we're pretty ranked high. It's like in, I guess, the top like 200 or like 150. So it's ranked pretty high, and I want to play. So I was like, I'm willing to play wherever you want me to play. And being able to do that, he puts me like anywhere basically. He'll put me out on the wing back, center back, forward, and then I just try to play the best that I can and adjust to the situation. And he said that he's like very impressed with the fact that like I'm a well like adverse player and I can just play anywhere. And I'm willing to adjust to whatever I need to adjust to. And that like I'm very he says the word I'm very humble. I don't see myself as very humble, but he says that I'm very humble and that like I am just willing to just do whatever it takes and play however I need to play in order for the team to win.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I got one last question for you. And it's kind of a blend of another question I wanted to ask regarding entitlement, because we kind of, the way we're describing gratitude to our student athletes, we love the statement that it's grateful for everything, entitled to nothing. And we kind of feel like entitlement and gratitude are like always at odds with each other. But I want to bring God into the picture. You just said you got home from church and you kind of have this perspective already of like God has put me here. He's put these people in my life. Like it sounds like you really feel confident that God has you, where He wants you. And so with that truth that you are applying daily, which is hard to do sometimes, first part of the question: how can your relationship with God make you more grateful, aka less entitled? And just kind of maybe if you could wove in just the last time you felt entitled about something and how God kind of brought you out of that and into a place of gratitude.
I can say like I felt pretty entitled leaving GAC and going into college soccer like my freshman year. I felt pretty entitled. I was like, okay, I'm coming from a great program and I played with great athletes. I'm going to a D1 school. Like obviously I'm pretty good. And then I got there and I had to realize there are people just as good as me there. And I have to compete for my spot. And at first I felt like, oh, I don't really have to compete just because like, oh, my coach recruited me, she wants me kind of thing. And then I had to realize, oh no, like that's not the case. She recruited everyone. She wanted everyone. So it's like it kind of humbled me going, and then also just humbled me going to that school in general, just because like I got to play against like really good schools because we have no conference. So we just play schools that want to play us. We even played against the school that I'm at now. And like, it just humbled me playing against better players, I guess I want to say, because it just made me realize that, oh, I'm not as great as I think I am. And I need to work harder in order to be as good as I want to be. And I think the amount of time that I put in from like the weight room, just like at practice, even after practice, I would stay after practice for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and just work on shooting. Or even I would just like work in between like my classes and just like go out to the field and like work on drills, speed, and everything. I feel like the accumulation over the years of like those 2 years that I was in college just like helped me like realize, okay, I'm not at where I thought I was, and I need to work to get to where I want to be. And all that work, and even the work I did over the summer where you saw me running with Chantel and Kaden and training and stuff, all that work has helped me be able to be where I kind of want to be, but I know that I still have to put in that work to be where I want to be and to continue being where I want to be. So, and I feel like God, in that way, I feel like God has helped me through all of that, because I felt like at my old school, I felt kind of alone, and I felt like he wasn't really there at some points. But then there was times where I'd be like, okay, God doesn't give you things that you can't handle. So if like God really wasn't here, then he obviously just wouldn't give, like, this wouldn't be like a struggle, if that made sense. Like, God gives you struggles so that you know, okay, maybe it's tough, but I know God's with me, and I have to, like, this is just a test of faith. This is like a test of faith to see, like, if I really, like, believe that he's there and that he's going to help me overcome whatever I'm doing. And just to know that, like, okay, I can't walk through this alone as well. Because I feel like a lot of times in life, people think, oh, that they can just do stuff on their own and they don't need, like, to rely on God. But in reality, like, God helps us through the adversity that he gives us, if that makes sense. Like, he helps us kind of get over whatever bump or hill that he puts there to test our faith, to see if we're going to be able to reach out to him and ask him, I need help. Because in the end of the day, no one can walk through life alone. That's just in general. Like, you need friends, support of your family, you need the support of your teammates, and you definitely need the support of your coach and God, just in general. So I feel like going into, like, my senior year, going into my freshman year, that was kind of like, oh, it's a wake-up call. And then those 2 years being at South Carolina State was kind of like me trying to, like, accept that wake-up call. And then also kind of helping me grow closer to God, because I was like, okay, I feel alone, but then I need to know that I'm not alone and that God's going to help me through whatever I'm going through. And then finally, when I was in the transfer process, it was really hard. That was, like, probably the worst process ever. But God showed me, like, okay, you have these options, but this is where I want you to go. And he made it pretty clear, because there's all these options, and it was just my transcripts weren't going over, like, or they already have enough players, yada, yada, yada. And then finally, I guess I just came on a college. I didn't really come on a college visit here. I just came to a friend who's on the national team with me, and I was just coming just to hang out with her and everything. She took me around campus and took me hiking. We did a devotion up on the mountain. It was really cool. And it was just the atmosphere and the environment, and I just felt God, like, talking to me, saying, like, this is it. Like, this is where you need to be. And so I talked to my friend. I was like, hey, like, I think this is where I need to be. I think I should come here. And she was like, yes. So then she gave her coach my number, and he contacted me. And this is where we're at right now. And all my credits transferred over. Like, everything just fell into place. Like, everything just worked out the way it needed to work out. And it just all made sense. And that's how I felt like, okay, through all that adversity I went through and through all the struggles that I went through at my old school, like, God has made it overcome and helped me get to where I need to be. And I'm so happy, like, here. Like, this is the place I need to be. And, like, I'm so grateful, like, beyond all means. And it's just a lot of feelings and emotions that I feel, where, like, I'm thankful and I'm blessed, and I'm thankful that I went to GAC, and I'm thankful that I had people like you in Schofield that, like helped me through so much. And I don't want to go into details, but, like, you guys basically were, like, listening there, and you guys, like, helped me go through a like a lot of the stuff that I went through at GAC and just in life in general, like at home. And it was honestly just a true blessing to know that, like, even though you guys were my coaches and even though you guys were just like helping me with PT and stuff, it was more than that. Like, you guys were really there, if that makes sense. And you guys like really helped me grow as a person. So
Making me cry now, Jordan. Oh,
sorry.
oh. I mean, I'm really in awe of your testimony there, just your story and what God's doing in your life. It's so powerful because I think what makes me most proud is it's just what he's going to do with you in the next 2 years, you know, being a light on your team and just you're like the best teammate anybody could ever want. Somebody who's in a place in their life who's just humble and grateful and just wants to do their best, you know, like I bet your teammates just are just so incredibly thankful for you and your coaches too. And it's because of your humility and what God's doing. And I'm just blessed to say that I had a part in that, you know, and yeah, Coach Schofield and I, man, we're just so proud of you. And I just talked to him the other day about you too. So I'll definitely make sure he sees this and notices just how much you've grown and how much you appreciate your time at GAC. So, well, hey, unfortunately, we got to sign off. Is there anything you just kind of want to say in a closing comment to the classes?
Yeah, I just want to say take advantage of like what you have because it's honestly an amazing strength and conditioning program. Like Coach B like puts all of his time and effort and just like tries to help you be prepared for what you're about to get into in college because it's tough. And like I'll see people around me that like aren't really good like with their form and everything. Like when he talks about form and getting your form perfect, like that's a big thing because if you do your form wrong in college, you're doing like heavy weights and all that stuff too. So like if you do your form wrong, you can easily get injured. And so my thing is like listen to Coach B because like he knows what's like best for you and he's trying to like get you to where like you need to be and get you prepared for college. Like do not take it as a joke. Like seriously, like listen to everything because these two people like really helped me. Like Coach B and Sco like really helped me be able to be prepared. And also it's not even just about like the strength and conditioning part. They teach you valuable life lessons. Like they just teach you valuable life lessons to just be like to be a better person because if you go into the weight room and you're willing to overcome like whatever like struggle you go through, like basically if you're trying to max out and it's that like last rep or it's like super heavy and you can't do it and you like are able to push through it, just imagine what you can like conquer. So
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks for being on the call with us. We love you. We miss you.
Yeah, miss you guys too.
All right.